If your business upgraded to fiber internet, maybe even gig fiber, and your Wi Fi still sucks, your security cameras are buffering, and half the building still has dead zones, there's a good chance your ISP is not the real problem. The problem may be what happens after the service provider's equipment. In this video, I'm going to explain why faster internet does not automatically mean a better network. I'll discuss what typically causes these problems inside a business and a simple 5-step test you can use before you spend any more money on internet upgrades and random equipment. Hi, I'm Christian Miller, owner of Two Labs Tech. We help small businesses, farms, ranches, churches, and rural operators build networks that actually work. And this is one of the most common things I hear about. A business upgrades the internet plan, but the real bottleneck is sitting inside the building. Your internet may be fast, but your network may not be. Here's the easiest way to think about it. Your internet provider is responsible for getting the connection to your location. That could be fiber, cable, fixed wireless, or even something else. Once that connection hits your modem, your router, your firewall, your switches, your access points, your cabling in the building, and your devices, now we're talking about your internal network. And that internal network is where a lot of the problems actually happen. So when people tell me we upgraded to gig internet, but everything is still slow, my first question is usually, well, where is it slow? At the connection coming into the building or somewhere inside the building after that connection gets distributed? Because those are two very different problems. Think of it like water coming into the building. You might have a huge water main coming in from the street, plenty of supply, plenty of capacity. But if pipes inside the building are old, clogged, too small, poorly routed, or leaking, the faucet at that far end of the building, it's still going to perform badly. Your network works the same way. Gig fiber may give you a big pipe coming into the building, but if your router's overloaded, your Wi-Fi is poorly placed, your cabling is bad, or all your devices are fighting on one flat network, you're still going to have problems. More internet does not automatically fix poor network design. So let's talk about what this looks like in the real world. See if any of these sound familiar to you. Well, the Wi-Fi works fine in the office, but on the west side of the building, it's terrible. Your security cameras are buffering, lagging, or randomly going offline. Devices seem to drop off the network for no obvious reason. The internet is fast at one desk, but slow everywhere else. When you try to upload files or do cloud backups, the tasks take forever. Or everything works okay when the building's empty, but the minute customers, staff, guests, or church members show up, the network starts falling apart. Those symptoms are exactly why simply buying faster internet plan often doesn't solve the problem. There are 5 common issues I'd look for first. Number 1, consumer grade gear. This happens a lot. A router from the big box store down the street might be fine for your house, but a business is different. You may have office computers, printers, phones, point of sale systems, cameras, guest Wi-Fi, smart TVs, cloud apps, maybe even equipment in a shop, barn, warehouse, or second building. That's a very different workload than a couple phones, a laptop, and a Netflix stream at home. Number 2, poor Wi-Fi placement. Wi-Fi is not magic. The surrounding areas matter. The walls, the concrete floors, the freezers, the electrical noise, the bad access point placement all matter. If you've got one router sitting in the back office trying to cover an entire building, you don't have a Wi-Fi strategy, you have hope. Number 3, bad cabling. We tend to forget about this one because we don't see it. The cables are in the wall where you don't know what's really going on. If the cable in the wall is damaged, poorly terminated, too long, low quality, or connected through some mystery switch in a closet nobody remembers installing, that can create bottlenecks. You can have gig fiber coming into the building and still have a bad cable killing performance on one side of the network. Number 4, a flat network with no separation. This means everything lives in the same environment. Your guest Wi-Fi, business computers, cameras, payment systems, printers, phones, they're all treated the same. That creates performance issues, troubleshooting problems, and security concerns. Your guest Wi-Fi should not be treated the same as your business devices. Your cameras should not be treated the same as your point of sale system. Your office network should not be a free-for-all. Number 5, no visibility. This is huge. If nobody knows what devices are connected, what switch ports are active, which access points are overloaded, or where traffic is going, then troubleshooting becomes guesswork, and guesswork gets really expensive. This is where businesses tend to waste money. They keep upgrading bandwidth instead of fixing the actual problem. They replace one random router with another random router. They add extenders, mesh kits, boosters, or extra switches, underneath the desk. You see that all the time without understanding what's actually happening. And sometimes it gets worse, not better. Because more speed is not actually a network design. A faster internet plan is not the same thing as proper Wi Fi coverage, clean cabling, managed switching, network documentation, and equipment that can handle business traffic. So, how do you tell whether the issue is your ISP or your internal network? Here's a simple 5-step test. Step 1, test a wired connection near the router. Take a laptop, connect it to the router itself, or the firewall, or wherever your main network equipment is stored, and run a speed test. If your wired speed is close to what you're paying for, that's a clue that your ISP is delivering what they're supposed to. Step 2, test the Wi Fi in the problem areas. Now run a test from the places where people actually complain, whether it's the front counter, the shop floor, the sanctuary, the barn office, the conference room, or that fire side of the building. Do not just test from the desk close to the router and assume everything's fine. Step 3, compare the results. If the wired test is good, but the Wi Fi is poor in certain areas, that usually points to wireless coverage, interference, or maybe the access point placement. If one side of the building is great and the other side is terrible, that is not usually an internet speed problem, that is usually a distribution problem. Step 4, check when the issues happen. Is it a specific time? Does it only happen during busy hours? When staff are on site, during church services, when customers are in the building, when cameras are recording, when we're running backups? Patterns matter. A network that works fine with 3 people may fall apart with 30. Step 5, document. Document everything. Write down the location, the devices, whether it was wired or wireless, the time of day, and what happened. That information is valuable. It helps separate emotion from evidence. Instead of saying our internet is bad, now you can say wired speed at the router is good, but the Wi-Fi is terrible at the west side of the building. That is a much more useful starting point. A better business network starts with design, not guessing, not just plugging things in until the complaints stop. A better approach usually includes a site survey first, so you understand the building layout, the materials, the problem areas, and how people actually are using the space. Then you place business-grade access points where coverage is actually needed. You use proper switching to move data efficiently. You use structured cabling that supports what the business needs and what it may need in the future. You separate the traffic where it makes sense. Business devices, guest Wi-Fi, cameras, point of sale, and other systems. And maybe most importantly, you document the network so it's not a mystery box. This is how you get away from guessing toward actually fixing the problem. Here's a simple example. Let's say a small business upgrades to gig fiber. The office computer near the router tests great. Everything looks good there. But the front counter has weak Wi-Fi. The camera in the back shop keeps buffering. The printer in the back office randomly drops. And the owner says, "We just bought faster internet. Why is this still happening?" That's probably not a speed problem. That's a network design problem. The internet is getting to the building. It's just not being distributed properly throughout the building. And that's the distinction that matters, because if you misunderstand the problem, you will spend more money in the wrong place. If you want a simple starting point, I put together a free gig fiber troubleshooting checklist. It's a plain English guide that help you figure out whether the problem is likely your ISP, your Wi-Fi, your cabling, or your network equipment. I'll link it in the description. And if you're a business, farm, ranch, church, or rural operator in Kansas, and you want someone to look at the whole picture, 2Labs Tech can help with the network bottleneck assessment. We'll help you figure out where the real problem is before you keep throwing money at the wrong solution. So the next time someone says, "We upgraded to gig fiber and it still feels slow," remember this. Don't buy more speed until you know where the bottleneck is. More internet is not the same thing as a better network. If this helps, subscribe for more plain English IT networking, security, and AI tips for small business and rural operators. Thank you.